exciting talk, and which is, demanded or asked by many of the students, and it is directly relevant to the job, because who doesn't want to go for government jobs? That's what, always that mentality is there in the head of everybody, at least in India. So we have today with us an expert who will make us expert by sharing her own experiences. And today we have with us Sukanya Pondugala, who is an assistant director technical FSSI. She initially joined FSSI as a technical officer, and then at Western Region Mumbai, and through the direct recruitment process, she's now working as an assistant director with FSSI under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So you will be, she has done her master's in food processing and technology, and she has also a very nice experience of teaching. So she is also faculty assistant professor of food biotechnology, and she was also head of the department in microbiology section for handling both undergraduate and postgraduate section. So she hails from Visakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh, and I'm so happy, Sukanya, that you accepted our invitation today and talking to students, directly sharing your top tips for cracking this FSSI exam. So this FSSI exam is so important. I have seen, because many times students do not know how to prepare. And being a food technologist, I think most of the syllabus is for food technology. So I think if they do proper strategy, it is possible to address and crack that. So over to you, Sukanya.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. And thank you for the nice words. I think I'm all audible to each and everybody.
Yes, very clearly.
Okay, ma'am. So, yeah, I'm Sukanya from FSSI, working as assistant director. So I welcome everyone to the session today. So I would request Shalini ma'am to start my presentation so that without delay we can start off the session. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. So, okay. So this FSSA examination, generally this has happened for the first time, students, as a direct recruitment. Before that, it was only under contract basis. So this direct recruitment has different kind of post, but I'm just sticking to the post which are under this technical kind of thing, that is science based post, which we are eligible, like any kind of food technologies, like any kind of food science background. So any kind of this food technology or food science background candidates can apply for these three kinds of posts, which are Central Food Safety Officer, Technical Officer, and Assistant Director Technical Group A. So these are divided as Group B posts, CFSO, which is Central Food Safety Officer, and Technical Officer. These are Group B posts, whereas the Technical Assistant Director Technical is a Group A post. So these are the initial posts, like after BTech or after BSc or after your MSc or after your MTech, you can just opt these posts whichever you are eligible for. And for assistant director technical, you need experience minimum of 5 years with a certain pay scale which will be specified during the recruitment process. So for that you need proper experience. Whereas for Central Food Safety Officer, the starting education qualification is BSc or BTech, and even masters is also eligible. Whereas for technical officer, it is mandatorily, it is a master's degree which is required to apply for this technical officer's post. Whereas this technical officer post also needs some experience of 2 to 3 years to apply for this kind of post. Whereas I have given you the other post after assistant director technical, that is deputy director and joint director. These are the promotional posts after you go through this assistant director level. So promotional post, like if you're opting for a central food safety officer, the promotional would be the technical officer, and then the assistant director, and then to the deputy director and joint director. If you have a background, or if you have a or some experience, and you're opting career directly based on the education qualification and experience, if you are directly opting for assistant director, the next promotional post will be deputy director and joint director. So this is how the format of posts are given for the food technology and food science posts. So next slide please. Then coming to the eligibility. So as I said, for Central Food Safety Officer, which is called a CFSO, the eligibility criteria is bachelor's degree in science and technology or master's degree in science and technology. Whereas for technical officers, it's mandatorily master's degree and above. Like after master's degree, even the PhD is also there. If you are CSIR qualified, CSIR net qualified, that is also eligible for technical officer. Sorry. And whereas for assistant director technical, you need master's degree with minimum experience of 5 years in the industry or any academics, and then also the desirable qualification is CSIR net qualified as well as PhD candidates. Okay, the next slide please. Then coming to the structure of examination, the structure of examination is divided into three, like preliminaries, which is called as computer based test, then the mains, which is called as written examination, and the for group A post, that is assistant director and above post, there will be interview for the group A post. Otherwise it is CBT and written examination for CFSO as well as technical officer post. Okay, next slide please. So the weightage, so this is where most important thing, how you have to prepare for your preliminaries, otherwise you have to prepare for your written examination and for the interview. So when you are preparing for this kind of examination, you have to go through the weightages. What is the weightage given, which will be like you can divide your marks based on your weightage given, so that based on your category of wherever you're applicable, your weightage of marks will be applied, and that gives you the complete marks where you can be like suitable for the post or not. Okay, so for CBT, if you see, for CFSO and technical officer, the CBT is for 50% and written examination is 50%. There is no interview for this post. Whereas for assistant director technical post and above, there is CBT and written examination, which is CBT is 50% and written examination is 85%, and then interview is for 15%. Okay, the next slide please. So I have given you the slides of syllabus. This syllabus is for the direct recruitment where we applied for, and which is also available in our website. You can go through that and go through the link of jobs and careers in the FSSAI website, where you can get all the syllabus available here. In this, mainly I would like to ask you to concentrate on the, this is the syllabus for CBT, like the computer based examination, which is a preliminary examination. Okay, if you see this, there is a division of the each and every kind of subject in this, where the general aptitude is given, and then the science based is given. But if you see, for each and every paragraph, the number of questions were also clearly mentioned, and you have to keep in mind this computer based test, this will be for 400 marks, where you get 100 questions. Each question carries 4 marks. Okay, so in the syllabus also, each and every question is divided based on the syllabus. So if you see, for the general knowledge or computer literacy, it is only 5 questions. So though there are 5 questions, but each question carries 1 mark, and there is a negative marking for this computer based test. So you should be very careful while doing this computer based test, because if you have given any kind of examinations right now in your career, you might be knowing this negative markings. So this is very important to not to very for the basics, like for the preliminary examination, not to go for the this negative marking. So you should be very careful by choosing an answer. And this syllabus, if you go through properly into this syllabus of CBT, it is very much clearly mentioned for FSSI what how many questions they are giving, for food science and technology how many questions they have given, and for computers how much questions they have given. It is very much clearly mentioned, and based on this you can already prepare your at least you can start based on the syllabus. You can start your preparation from now itself, because during this, like from 2021, you can again get the direct recruitment of FSSI or any other ministry examinations, which this syllabus is also will be very much useful for you for your career building, as well as because already once the examination is started and syllabus is available, you can, you don't no need to wait for this again when the recruitment will come and how you have to prepare. So start from today. Start see, slow and steady wins the race. This is what I believe in personally. So slowly you start your syllabus preparation, and then you can get through and go and give the mock test wherever available, and then you can get through this and you can also sustain this negative marking. Next slide please. So this is also same continuation of the same syllabus of computer based test. You later on can go through this what is the subject and number of questions, how they are asked, and how you can prepare and all. Okay, next slide. So this is the syllabus for written examination for assistant director as well as technical officer post. That for CFSO and technical officer, written examination syllabus is little bit easier, whereas for assistant director technical post, the syllabus is a little bit like heavy comparatively. But whereas the syllabus is similar almost for both technical officer and CFSO. The parts of food science, like part C will be more for assistant director technical post with respect to, because it is a group A post. Okay. And in this also the syllabus is given, and it is divided into part A, part B, and part C based on the general aptitude and based on your FSSI. The complete part B is regarding FSSI, whereas part C is complete your subjective from where your career, like your education, everything is going to be started. So this is how the syllabus has been divided, and completely the marks are given there, number of questions from which part are going to come, that is also given in the syllabus, where you can prepare your own notes by looking at your syllabus. And you can start off using the syllabus, how to prepare and how many questions are going to come, and among that how you can divide the syllabus into the part A. Within the part B, if you see the example, part B, it is about regulatory and initiatives of FSSAI. So among that you have to divide based on the number of questions they asked. Okay, next slide. So this is the same about this assistant director technical syllabus, where it is little bit lengthy comparatively technical officer as well as central food safety officer syllabus. Next slide please. So coming to this strategy, so this is the strategy which I personally made based on the syllabus. So there is nothing like the strategy how we should, like you should not be like, it should not be hard for you to divide your syllabus. See, once if you are a graduate, it will be definitely a little bit tough for you to concentrate on that much syllabus and divide it. But whereas for PG and PhD level people, it should not be that much tough, because already you should know how the competitive examinations are going to happen and how you have to approach towards them. So basically I have made this strategy based on the FSSAI syllabus by my own, so that it will be easy to make you understand a little bit of sharing my knowledge. If at all it will be useful for you in future. Okay, the strategy what I made based on the syllabus, I have divided the syllabus to make you to easily understand this. The first thing is the completely FSSAI, this FSSAI where it is completely regulatory as well as Food Safety and Standards Act. So in meanwhile, I'll be explaining you how it is divided. And then coming to the codex, if your people are like food technology, you should know about the codex, which is a international standards developed by FAO and WHO. The third strategy is about food technology and food science. So this part is vast to think about, but I will help you what to where you have to concentrate, and where which subjects you have to just go through and just leave about. Okay. Then the fourth one is FSSI initiatives. There are so many initiatives taken up by FSSI in recent times, from 2018 to 2020, and because of lockdown, there are no much initiatives happen practically, but through webinars we have started so many initiatives being in the FSSA organizations. But still there are within 2 years we have developed a lot of initiatives to help the consumers in India. Next slide, please. So basically, other than those four strategies, there are also certain other strategies which I'll explain you in detail later. But let us see these four strategies. The first one, regulatory of FSSAI, then Food Safety and Standards Act of FSSAI, and FSSAI initiatives, and food science and technology. So let us in detail see how this regulatory works. So if I suggest you, if you have interest in this government competitive examinations with respect to food technology, you have to go through this FSSAI website. Other than FSSAI website, go through this Food Processing and Industries website also, EPIDA. So these are certain government organizations where you can get some certain knowledge, or you can understand the career opportunities, and you can explore different opportunities in different ministries. So you should know what are all the food industries and what are all the food ministries available in India, and how these career opportunities are developed in the ministry through different ministries in India for our food background candidates. Okay. So with respect to FSSAI, there are different kind of food regulatory regulations which are developed in the main course of time, where till now, till 2020, there are about 21 regulations which are developed. And I have given you the link of FSSAI website, the Food Safety and Standards regulations. You can go to that link and see what are all the 21 till date developed regulations in the FSSAI website. And each and every regulation, if you are like practicing FSSAI examinations in future also, each and every regulation, at least you should know what are the regulations and how they are developed, and which regulation. See, each and every regulation is interlinked with the other regulation. It is nothing like one part of, like, it is just like our academic subjects. If you can think in that way, in practically, one regulation is linked with other regulation. Is like example, there is a regulation, Food Safety and Standard Licensing and Registration of Food Businesses. This is about how you give the license to the food manufacturers in the industry. So this regulation, you understand how to develop this, what are the documents required. So this kind of regulation is there. There is a regulation for imported food products, where you can understand how the food products are standardized, and how the foreign products or foreign food products are traded to India, and what are the regulations to be managed in that. So each and every regulation is interlinked here. Once you go to the website, you can understand, and later on, like in each and every regulation, you can just go through and try to understand what is the regulation is speaking about. The next slide. So the FSSAI Act. So this FSSAI Act, it is developed. A Food Safety and Standards Act is developed in 2006, and this you should know. Like if you are if you are into the FSSAI, you should know about what is Act and what is regulation. So it is Act is nothing but it is a legal thing, where until unless you don't practice it, you can never understand. But if you are like still you are in a student stage, so it will be little bit hard for you to understand the Act differentiations and regulation differentiation. But to make you easy in a practical way, I'll just tell you the Act is what see the law of India, like the food whichever comes to India or whichever is developed in India. If there is any problem, or if there is any adulteration is happening, if somebody has done the adulteration, if somebody has like added some like stones in the pulses, that is adulteration. So you have someone of you has detected it, and where you have detected it, and you have raised the consumer complaint in the FSSA website. So here comes the act. So act says, so this adulteration should not happen, and act will based on the law, there is a sections in there where the act is divided into 11 chapters, and among that 1 to 10 chapters are very much important. Just one, excuse me. Sorry, I was having water. Thank you. So you have different so the law. So in India, how to stop these adulterations or any kind of misbehavior with the food products which are available in the market. The act comes into the place, and according to the act, we have to take the action. So this is like enforcement of the food laws in the industry, as well as the in India with respect to the consumer level also. So there are different kinds of acts. There are different kind of laws within the act, where you can see there are different chapters, like chapter 11. Among that, chapter 1 to chapter 10 are very much important, where you have to study and try to understand it. Among that, with respect to examination, I have given that important chapters, chapter 1, chapter 7, and chapter 8. So these chapters are with respect to examination, with respect to computer based examination mainly, that is a preliminary examination. You have to go through these different kind of chapters. Okay, so there is a vast subject of this act, where I cannot incorporate each and every chapter into your mind right now. But in a meanwhile, if any possibility is there in future, definitely I will try to make you understand what is act and what is regulation in a different topics. But we are sticking to the examination right now. I'm just trying to give you the important aspects of the FSSA examination. And with respect to the FSSA Act 2006, this chapter 1, chapter 7, and chapter 8. And I'll just give you the details of chapter 1. Chapter 1 is with respect to the definitions of the FSSAI, and very simple, from what is food, the definition of food, to the definitions and the role of different like authorities in FSSAI, and what not, like the simple things and responsibility of food business operators. This all comes in the chapter 1. Okay, whereas chapter 7 deals with the responsibilities as well as the penalties of the people who are into the adulteration process and everything. Okay, and chapter 8 is about the analysis of food products and all. So laboratory analysis is one of the most important subject with respect to the with respect to food safety and standards. So you should be very much thorough with this kind of topics. That is, if you have gone through this FSSA Act book, you can just have it in your library also, if possible, and just go through these different chapters, so that you will understand from right now itself. Next slide, please. So codex codex is one of the most important like it is the nodal point for food safety for different nations, you can say. Codex is the international food standards. It is nothing but the food code, which was developed by FAO and WHO. This collaboration and making this Codex Alimentarius Commission is a very much important, and the history of this codex is very much interesting, and this history of codex is very much important during your preliminary examination of CBT, where you have to go through the development of codex and how the codex has come, and how this FAO and WHO has implemented through what different kinds of through different kinds of meetings which has happened with respect to food safety, how this codex has been generated, or how this has been created with incorporation or with the collaboration of FAO and WHO. That is most important topic, and you can go through the Codex Elementaris site, and then you can just go through the history accordingly with respect to codex, and just have the notes, self notes of yours, so that it will be easier for you to understand and then prepare well. And among coming to this codex, I just needed to tell you why codex is so much important. Because the first thing is international food standards. So codex is the main, we can just not say it is a it is not a suggestion. Okay, codex is a mandatory regulation or mandatory international food standards which are developed by FAO and WHO in collaboration to protect the consumer health is one thing, and to make the international trade which should be very much fair enough. Okay, so the fair trade, and one is the public health, like consumer health. These two are the main important aspects of this Codex Elementaris Commission's development. And by developing the Codex Elementaris Commission, the main principles are the purpose, the scope, the nature, and the revision. The purpose is main is to protect the consumer health and to make the fair trade of the international business, as well as the scope. The scope is how to develop the each and like there are code of practices. The code of practice is nothing but like food standards for each and every small kind of thing. Like for food additives, there is a code of practice. For food adulterants, there will be a code of practice. For microbiology, there is a code of practice. So that is a scope. How, where is a scope to develop the international standard for each and every aspects which are involved into the food industry. And the nature of Codex Elementaris is with respect to protecting the consumer health as well as the international trade fair. So this we have to each and every nation has to follow the codex. By following the codex international standards, each and every nation develop their own regulation. So international standards of codex are the nodal point for each and every nations in the world, where they independently they develop their own regulation based on the Codex Commission. So this is the key role of the codex, which is very much important during the preliminary examination. And during this CBT where I have written, there are almost I can say 50% of the weightage has been given to this Codex Elementaris Commission. So you can keep it in mind how you have to prepare well for this Codex Elementaris Commission during your examination. Okay, next slide, please. Then coming to food science and technology, see, this subjective part is very much vast with respect to syllabus, because being into FSSAI, working regularly, putting see, that is different. So now this part will be easier for you, because already you are into this subjective thing. Your daily routine will be like your academics is into this. But the thing is, you have to basically concentrate that which part is important with respect to food safety and standards. Okay, with respect to food safety and standard, the food science and technology, which I have given you the in detail, that is food preservation, one thing, food microbiology, food packaging, food safety and processing, food recall, and food audit. So these are the few topics which I marked as like personally marked with respect to practicality. So see, if you the thing is, food safety and standards of India, FSSAI, it is a major regulatory of India, which has to see the consumer health of India, right? So whenever it is a consumer health with respect to food, we have to see the food with different aspects. Okay, food with different aspects means, if you see the food preservation, the food, see, if you're an industry person, or if I'm a academic person, if I'm a consumer, I'll look in a different role. See, as a consumer, I just need good food and healthy food which has a good shelf life to give to my family. Okay, that is my, as a consumer, that is my part. Whereas as an industrialist, if I'm an industrialist, how I will see, how the raw food has to be processed for future use. So this is my part of job as an industrialist or a technologist, how the raw food can be developed or processed or semi processed to be preserved for the future. Okay. Then coming to food microbiology, this is the major important aspect where microbes, so if it is food, immediately there is a microbes, there is a microbial development and contamination. So how to stop this kind of thing? So there again the technologists, microbiologists work out to stop the microbial development on food so that the preservation will prolong, and all these aspects are combinedly affecting this. So that the food processing include the food packaging, food preservation, along with the shelf life increase with decrease in the microbial load on food. This comes the food safety aspects. If at all there is a problem in the complete processing of food and some contaminated food, for example, there is a canned food and canned food has entered the market, and one of us among us has taken that can and we had it, and we had the food poisoning because of this bacteria called as clostridium botulinum, and immediately there is a problem in that. Okay. Then what will happen? So already the product is in the market, but the thing is it is already people are suffering with the food poisoning who had already taken this canned food, and this canned food will have the batch number during the processing. So this batch number has to be recalled. So that is nothing but the food recall. So there is a aspect, there is a complete you should know about what is food recall and the food audit. So the complete food processing in industry has to be audited. So this auditing process or auditing procedure is completely new and very interesting subject. If anybody wants to build your career in food audit, there are different kind of opportunities both in India and international, other than in government organizations also. And there are so many courses after your undergraduation and post graduation, or during the post graduation you can also do the diploma courses of food audit, which I suggest you to see the food audit, because the food industry has to depend on the third party audit for this food audit. So if you want to develop a food audit career, there is this is completely different and new topics and new career opportunities for this food audit as well as. Okay, the next slide please. So, as I said, for FSSAI initiatives. So, other than FSSAI regulatory, other than FSSAI or FSS Act, like Food Safety Standards Act, the third important, very much important, that 30% of the syllabus, both in CBT as well as in written examination, are based on this FSSAI initiatives. And I have given you the most important initiatives which FSSAI has developed in the during the years of 2018 and 2020. And the most important thing is Eat Right India, food fortification, DART, which is detect adulteration with rapid test, clean street food, blissful hygiene offering to God, that is called as BOG, and FOSTAG. FOSTAG is nothing but food safety training and certification. So these are the most important FSSAI initiatives, and each and everything this is available as a book in the FSSAI website. You can go to FSSAI website and just you can search. There is a search button. You can just search based on these headings which I have given you, and immediately you get the downloadable booklet. You can download it. You can just prepare your own notes. Okay, next slide please. So as I said, initially I said the 4 topics. Other than the 4 topics with the strategy which I made, there are the other topics which are also equally important with respect to examination. That is laboratory analysis. You have to know the laboratory analysis. This is also one of the regulations in the FSSAI website which you can go for. And this laboratory analysis, what kind of labs? There are notified labs, there are referral labs. These are the kind of laboratory kind of subjects you should know with respect to FSSAI examination basically. And other than Indian standards, you should also know about US FDA as well as food safety at European Union. So these are our other different countries where the food laws are also be followed, and US FDA is one of the biggest and vast and very much very much the regulation part is very much interesting in the US FDA law, like US Food and Drug Administration. So this kind of other this kind of topics is also important. For this there is no proper notes I can tell you for this examination, because all these topics are completely based on the website, where you can go to US FDA website and you have to capture every in detail in there, and you have to go to EU, like European Union food safety law. There are direct websites you can go and get the notes from there. And general aptitude, computer literacy, and English language, all these three if you see the syllabus, all these three have given the 5 marks, but for like 5 questions, where you can get, like, if you are thorough with your general aptitude, practice well, you give the mock test, and you get to know all the, you can get to crack all the 5 questions. See, 5 questions, that means 20 marks. So that is a big difference. If you have one question for this one question for negative marking for any kind of subjective part, you can get through with the general aptitude, computer literacy, and English language, where there are 5 questions for each or for all the 7, 8, 9 topics. There are 5 questions in the syllabus, and if you are not going wrong with this CBT examination, all these 15 questions are going to get you the more marks comparatively the subjective questions. So be careful while attempting the questions. Okay, next slide please. So important tips which I can give you. So prepare and practice your own notes. So why I'm saying this, prepare and practice your own notes, because see, subjective part, you already have your own academic education. So there is nothing new coming from your subject. Make it for sure. And I said the basics are very much important for your from your subjective part, like preservation, like microbiology, like packaging, whether it's a novel packaging or any kind of packaging. These are the basics of food processing technology or food technology or any kind of food science and new technology. So you should know the basics. So prepare, go to the websites and prepare well, prepare your own notes, practice the question paper, practice the syllabus, and accordingly you will definitely crack your examination. And as I said, keep update on your regular notifications on FSSAI website. So as I said, there are 21 regulations in the updated version of FSSAI website. Meanwhile, see, the process of examination will be going on, the process of regulations are also going on. So you have to be updated in the FSSAI website very much regularly if you are very much particular about FSSAI examinations, because this organization, direct recruitment, has started from the last year 2019, and recruitment, the process has been updated in 2020, and 2021 we are all directly recruited in the FSSAI. So this is the future. So this 2021, after late after March, you may be getting the next recruitment process also. So this is already January end. So from 1st of the February, you take the syllabus, just try to practice the preliminary examination syllabus in immediately, and you will definitely going to give your best. So as I said, the basics of food science and food technology have to be practiced, and practice the analytical based questions, right? So written examinations, once you clear the CBT, there will be written examination, as I said, and written examination is completely analytical based, where the practical applicability, like if you are into food safety or if you are into food industry, the major point is how you are going to help your consumer. Okay, so keep this in your mind, practice the syllabus accordingly, and then you will understand how analytical, like if I give you some example, like So how this consumer, like what will be the shelf life if the consumer has to buy the product, this so and so kind of product, and he has to store it for so and so kind of time. So this kind of analysis should be happening, and once you read the regulations of FSSAI, you get to know all this kind of analytical based questions which are applicable to the market. Okay, next slide please. So I have given you the references of FSSAI website as well as the Codex Elementaris website. And one more important thing I just I wanted to say you, see, the books, you're not going to get any kind of proper like examination, like cracking book anywhere. This is for sure. If you want to prepare, you have to stick to your syllabus and prepare your own notes, prepare your own syllabus, practice. This is what I did, and this is what I am suggesting to everybody, even to you students, because you are at student level, and that will be easier for you, because we were working and we have to practice it back. So the time period is little is bounded for us, but whereas you are still in the student mode. And if anybody is there in this session who has a breakage in their career, you no need to worry at all. There, even though there is a break in the career, you can just start your you can just start your career back through this examinations and whatever it is, because I even had 4 years of break in my career due to personal reasons, but still we can get through this whatever circumstances. So don't worry about that. And the second thing, the most important thing I would like to say, see, among we are all like students, okay? I may crack, my other colleague may not crack the examination. So the other person should not feel bad about that. Take it positive way, practice for the next time, and do it well. Don't take a negativity of anything, and don't be into this hurry that I have to get it, I have to. No, believe in yourself, that's what you have to do, and then practice well, and just go through whatever comes in your way. Okay, so these all are most important things you should keep in your mind. So for any queries you have, I have given you my email ID. You can post me anytime. I will personally attend in whatever time I get, and then I can get your clear idea about whatever I can do. Okay, those. So thank you students, thank you ICT, thank you ma'am, Shalini ma'am, thank you very much for your patience for listening this seminar. So I think you can take some questions regardingly.
Wow, Sukanya, what a nice talk, and so nicely simple language you have explained. Is there any age limit for appearing for this FSSAI exam?
Yes, ma'am. Like as I said, if you see the qualifications of CFSO and technical officers, it is bachelor's. It is like starting with bachelor's degree and master's. So for that, even the BSc students or students that can apply. Whereas the age limit for them will be almost, for all the three examination, it is 35 years the age limit.
Okay.
And we have the Indian that category relaxations and all as per the government rules and regulations.
Excellent, excellent. So this question is coming several times. How many times one can attempt FSSAI exam? Is there any limitation for attempting?
No, as such, they did not mention that you should have like limitations and all. You can attempt till you crack the examination. There is nothing like that.
Okay, so there is no students, there is no limit. And is there any charges for sitting for the exam, so that then n number of times students can sit, and then I'm sure
yes, it's a fee. There is a fee that will be applicable based on your like categories. Like open category, there will be 1,000 rupees, and for reservation categories, the fee will be like lesser as per the government rules and regulations. So everything, the structure, everything is already given, and there is everything is available still in the website. So yeah.
So yeah, so the most commonly the question coming is whether this branch is available, that branch is available. Students, I would request you to go and visit the website.
Just if you go and see with respect to food technology, and other than food technology, food science and technology is also there. Even veterinary sciences is there, agricultural sciences is there. So there is like vast area of education qualifications whoever can apply to this with experience or without experience as per the post they are applying. Yeah.
If the course is a 4-year bachelor degree and the student is in 3rd year, can the student eligible to apply for the or appear?
No, it is you have to complete your education. Before that you cannot. But yeah, if there is a there is an internship is also available with respect to FSSI, which has happened in the year of 2018 and 19. Whereas because of lockdown, we shouldn't do it for the students of 2020 batch. Maybe they will start in this year or later in the next year. So whoever is interested in the student, like if they doesn't want any break in their career and they are not getting an opportunity in the industry, they can immediately join this internship so that the certificate is valuable both in the industry as well as in FSSAI. So they can opt that one also.
Excellent, excellent. So for CFSO, to the selection is fully based on entrance, or they give also preference to person who have an additional experience of working in either academics or in industry.
Yeah, anybody can apply, whoever is eligible. That the education qualification is degree. After that, you have experience and you want to opt for CFS, so you can do that. Like if your experience is not, because experience level, it is also given in the website how much experience is required for assistant director, technical as well as technical officer. And for CFS, so if you are eligible, if you are completing your course of education and you directly want to immediately the recruitment has come and immediately you just want to apply, you can apply for CFS. So there is no issue at all. That is a very excellent post, Central Food Safety Officer, and the career opportunities and promotion opportunities are very much well. And if you want to be connected both with enforcement, that is which will happen in the state, and you want to be connected with the regulatory part, that post is a very much valuable post where you'll be connected both central as well as state.
So which post are usually a fresher, a B.Tech fresher or BSc fresher student having food technology background can apply? Or what is your suggestion?
So immediately after B.Tech, if you want to apply, the only post available is Central Food Safety Officer. Yeah.
Okay.
That is the one. Yeah.
Okay, so there is one more question. Is the degree in nutrition eligible? Can they also apply nutrition, BSc?
Nutrition and technologies. There are there are FAQs which are also available with respect to education qualifications. So if you have any doubts, you can ask FSSAI and they will definitely reply you, because each and every education qualification is in detail given in the advertisement. So they can opt based on that, whether because if it is something like home science in the nutrition, that is not eligible. So you have to keen whether you are nutrition and technology or nutrition and food and nutrition. So based on that, you have to be choosing your qualification.
Most important question, Sukanya, is are there going to be vacancies in this year? So how many vacancies will come out? Is there any information available for 2000?
As of now, the first recruitment which has happened, the proposal post, only 1/3 have been cleared for the first recruitment. So there is a vast area, and this is organization is like upcoming organization, and this is the first direct recruitment which has happened. So the future is very bright with FSSAI. So for this, yeah, definitely this year, late after March, we are expecting another recruitment. Definitely, if there is something like that, definitely I'll be sharing with Shalini ma'am, so that it will be easy for you to approach FSSAI.
Excellent. So students, get ready to grab this opportunity. There is one more question. Are there any opportunities for doing internship along with FSSAI for students who are in 3rd year, or master students who are in 2nd year or 1st year, or PhD student who can come to FSSAI and learn more information?
Yeah, internships were available, and I think sooner or later they will also again come back with the internships again. and that is completely online process, and they have to apply for internships, whoever is interested in that. And yes, they can apply, and the selection of internships is completely based on the committee in the authority, so that we cannot say that everybody applying will be selected, because they select very less number of students, so that they can be accommodated in each and every divisions for the proper training and all. So there will be very like, they may also increase the seats in the later on stages, but as of now we can just apply whenever the internships are open, and selection is completely authorities hand.
Wow, excellent. So another, suppose one qualifies CBT and written exam and appearing for interview. What would be your top advice for the students who would like to prepare themselves for the interview? Are there any chances that person has qualified CBT written but couldn't crack or go through the interview? What is your top
Yeah.
advice?
Yeah, interview part, that is 15% of weightage is given to interview. So it is completely your hand. It is in your hands, like how much well you're doing with your CBT and written examination, because that is in completely in our hands. So whereas an interview, definitely your subjective will be subject part. And if there is definitely it is having the weightage of experience, they will definitely asking you the questions of your previous experience, so, and your personality, and then definitely regarding the FSSA, how much you know about FSSA, if at all you're working there, then definitely ask you about this, your background, how, in which division you have worked. If you're out of from FSSA and you have a different experience, definitely they will ask the questions from that kind of experience.
Okay, so this there are other type of courses also, like vocational courses who are very relevant to food or food safety, diploma courses. So are those students available or only graduate students are available?
If there is a diploma and after diploma they are doing any masters, then they are eligible, because PG diploma is also one of the course where they are considered as one of the educational qualifications. But preferably the desirable are completely the graduates and postgraduates from these backgrounds.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So students, when there is one more question popping out on food analyst exam. I know that FSSI conducts this food analyst, and I have in my department conducted this twice food analyst exam with both theory as well as practical, and also there is a. So would you like to comment on it if you can, on food analyst exam?
Food analyst, see, as I said, the laboratory part is one of the most important wing of FSSI, because completely it is related to food safety. And food analyst is a group B post, that is equivalent to CFSO and technical officer post, and that is one of the excellent career. And every year, almost like back to back, last 2 years, they have announced the food analyst post, and we have the requirement of food analyst a lot, because the future we are going to develop a lot of laboratories, and there will be more opportunities for food analyst people. So definitely, if you want to go through that also, definitely you give a try, whether you like, see, as I said, whether you crack the exam or doesn't, at least you will have the exposure of the examination. There is nothing bad about not cracking the examination. That is okay. Just go through that, and just expose to that examination and see, because practical part, I think that is a little bit tough than the, as I heard, with respect to food analyst examination, that is a little bit tough.
Yes, I know that. So thank you so much, Sukanya. And students, there are more questions here you have posted in chat, but I will compile all the questions, and with help from Sukanya, we will try to compile all the answers. And I'm sure on FSSI website also there are some questions, but if there are not, because Sukanya, you are in FSSI, maybe updating that fact will be always helpful, taking feedback from this webinar. And thank you so much for such a wonderful talk, which directly addresses the need of the students. And our objective of conducting such webinar is clearly for in the benefit of students. Students should get benefited because somebody should, give them mentoring. Mentoring means we have to grow together. Each one of us, like you have cracked the exam, and now you are the role model to us, and the world will look at you because you have proved that this is what is the path. If one follows, will reach the destination. So we are going to follow you, Sukanya, not only
Thank
this
you.
time, but on many occasions, taking more
Sure.
and more updates on FSSI. And yes, students, the moment we come to know about the new vacancies in FSSI, Sukanya madam, as well as I will try to, make sure that that information reaches to you and maximum
Yes.
number of students participate. So with this, I would really, really like to thank you once again. Despite of your busy schedule, you're traveling, you have
Yeah.
now to pack and run to Delhi, but despite of that, you have spared your time, and I'm really, really thankful